What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Hello friends and welcome to my new video. Long time no see, but here I am. I'm back on YouTube finally and it feels so good. I was really looking forward to do this 90s video. And yeah, if you don't know, I moved to another city and I had to move the whole record collection, the whole hi-fi gear and everything else, and I can tell you it was a true pain. Carrying all those records was it was heavy, believe me. But anyways, I also wanted to thank everyone for sending me nice comments and messages on my new job and on the move. If the real world would be as friendly as the vinyl community, we would really live in a better world in a way, and that's totally true. But enough off topic. As you all know, I'm a big 90s fan and those videos are more or less my favorites because yeah, it's just the time I grew up in, and in the last time I was in a deep 90s mood again and I bought a lot of interesting records that I want to share with you. Let's go! Alright, so the first record I want to show is already a personal favorite and a highlight. I bought this in the record store in my hometown and I also visited this store once and made a video about it, so feel free to check this link out. It's a great store and whenever I go there I find great records, and that's one I bought there in the last couple of weeks, and of course it's the self-titled Björk debut album from 1993, and I was looking for this one for a long time. Actually, I only had it on CD, and this is an original UK pressing, and it's in, believe me, it's in mint condition. It couldn't be any more mint, maybe only played once or twice. I just listened to this one this morning and yeah, it's always fantastic. Björk is an artist, you love her or you hate her in a way, to my mind, but I really like the debut album. To be honest, I never listened to any of her other albums yet, but I will do that for sure. And this was one of the more expensive records, as I said, original UK pressing, and it was €35. Another classic lady of the 90s, Tori Amos. They finally reissued Little Earthquakes on vinyl. I was yeah, trying to get the original for ages actually. And I'm so happy that they did this reissue, and I hope you can see it on the sticker. It says 180 gram vinyl, half-speed mastered at Abbey Road Studios, and I can tell you, this is a quality reissue. It sounds fantastic, the pressing is great, came in a polylined inner sleeve, and it's just enjoyable from start to finish. I heard that her other album that was just reissued has a mastering problem, but for this one I can really recommend it. It's some quality stuff. Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes. Yeah. Up next, we're still in the early 90s, another actually Grail. I searched this record for a very long time, and of course I'm talking about Eric Clapton Unplugged. This is an original German pressing from 1992, and I'm a big fan of Unplugged concerts, and when it comes to Unplugged concerts, this is actually one of my favorites. A masterpiece in every way. And I know that this statement won't get much friends, but to my mind Eric Clapton is a little bit overrated. Oh yeah, I said it, but that's what I think. Of course he has a lot of great albums with Cream, Blind Faith and his solo stuff, but his Unplugged album, to my mind, is actually one of the best things he did in his whole career. And my favorite track is definitely Nobody Knows You, When You're Down and Out, of course, Layla and Tears in Heaven. I mean, there is so much emotion in it. Yeah, great album. It's a gatefold, it opens up, and I'm glad that I have an original pressing, because normally I'm not the guy that always tries to get originals, but in this case I was happy to pick it up. Up next is a present by a friend, or yeah, a trade more or less, and it's Jeff Buckley, Grails, released on Columbia Records in 1994. And this is a simply vinyl pressing. Yeah, what an album. I was introduced by a friend into this one about 3 years ago maybe. And yeah, that's one of those 90s albums that just, yeah, how should I tell it? There's a lot more going on this one than only Hallelujah. Of course, it's the famous track, full of emotion, full of sadness, and that's one of the tracks where you really get goosebumps. But as I said, there is a lot of more going on, and that's a great record in more ways actually, and sometimes maybe people don't see that. But yeah, great listen. Simply vinyl is always always a good choice. Unfortunately, this one crackles a little, but that's okay. Now let's come to the grunge era of the 90s. Pearl Jam, Vitalogy, also released in 1994, and as you can see, that's a Music on Vinyl reissue. And this is also some quality stuff. I heard that this album in the United States, that it was released first on vinyl and then on CD back then. So this is one of the easier ones to get on vinyl, but that's not the case in Europe or in Germany. I bought this at MediaMarkt and I paid 25 euro for it, and I really dig the quality because it's a solid gatefold, very heavy. Great pressing quality, it opens up, and it also the cover material, it feels so good. There's the insert in it and the printed inner sleeves. Fantastic package overall. If you're into Pearl Jam, I can highly recommend the Music on Vinyl pressings, and I think this is more or less one of the last missing pieces of my Pearl Jam collection. Of course, I still miss some of the late 90s stuff, but the important albums are in my collection now. Okay, let's come back to electronic music of the 90s. This was released in 1997, and of course I'm talking about the Prodigy. This was also the last album that was missing in my collection, and I was really happy to find an original copy, a UK pressing on XL Recordings. Yeah, of course we have all the famous tracks on this one, like Smack My Bitch Up, Breathe, Funky Shit, Serial Thriller, Minefields, Firestarter, and so on. Actually, there's one hit after another. And there's a funny story about Firestarter. When I was a kid, my older brother was always watching MTV in the afternoon, and sometimes I joined him and I was watching MTV as well, and there was this video of Firestarter, which is really thrilling in a way. And as a young kid in 1997, I had a little fear about the singer of Prodigy, because if you take a look how he looks like, you don't want to meet him in the dark, don't you? But anyways, original pressing, the Prodigy, the fat of the land. Great stuff, definitely. And same for the next one, also important 90s electronic music, Leftfield, Leftism. This is also a simply vinyl pressing. Great quality. This is a bunker gatefold. It's, I don't know, but it's really heavy. It sounds amazing, I can tell you. And this, it was also released in 1995. Big 90s electronic classic. If you don't know it, be sure to check it out. Very important, style-defining album. Very good, and those pressings, they don't appear that often, I think. And let's stay with some trip-hop. This was a VCLT by my good friend Tim from Belgium. Tim, if you're watching, thank you so much for sending me this. I really appreciate it, and I love this album. It's Hooverphonic, and it's called A New Stereophonic Sound Spectacular. It was a little famous in the VC 90s trip-hop from Belgium, and I didn't know this album, I didn't know the group, I had no idea that they existed, but great music. A little similar to Portishead in a way. Also music on vinyl pressing, flawless quality, and yeah, great stuff. It was released in 1996. Yeah, now a little switch from trip-hop to hip-hop. This is Snoop Doggy Dogg, the Doggfather. Pressing from 2001, I think, digitally remastered. Sounds pretty good, although it has way too much bass, but with this kind of music that's okay. some people don't like this album and say it's bad. I don't know, to be honest. I bought it on the record store day and I paid $10 for it, you know. I said to myself, come on, give it a try. I only listened to it once, maybe I need to spin it again. I liked it for the first time, but I can also understand that some people say that it's not his best album. But anyways, great addition to the hip-hop collection and I really like that. Okay, Phoenix, United. That was released in 2000 and it's a great pop rock indie record. I knew this record because there was a cover version of the song If I Ever Feel Better on the label of Thomas Bangalter, one member of Daft Punk, on his label Roulé. And it was a big hit back then. If I ever feel better, I'd go to disco. They sampled it again and again. I can try. And I really wanted to get the original album at some point and I got it cheap on Amazon. And it's a little warped, but anyways, for the price it was great. And yeah, cool album, very nice. Yeah, and the last record for today is another personal highlight. It was a VCLT by Chris. We met at the record fair some month ago already and I'm finally having a copy of Metallica's Black Album in strong near mint condition. I mean, this couldn't be any more near mint. There's not even a single crackle on it. And I have 4 copies of this album right now. The big reissue box, original pressing in bad condition and another reissue. I will sell some of them, but this is the one to get if you're into Metallica and you want to get the Black Album. The original pressing on the Swirl label is the one to get. I compared all of my pressings with each other and this one is the best one, definitely. Really expensive in these days, or yeah, not expensive, but it's hard to find a perfect copy because it had printed inner sleeves and the records are always scratched, and then when you're playing Nothing Else Matters you always hear crackling, and yeah, that's very bad. But in this case I'm so happy with it. So Chris, if you're watching, thank you so much again. I still have you in mind, my friend, and can't wait to meet you again. Yeah. Well friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. The VC experience is great. I'm sorry that I didn't watch any video in the last 4 weeks, but as you know, I was in the moving process. I will be back soon. I still have no real internet here, but anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whatever, and see you next time. Bye bye.